Nigeria is a place where even when you know that you are doing something that is not right, just believe it's Nigeria. When I go there, I will find somebody that speaks my language or that goes to the same church with me or that would have interest in the money that I can use to buy my way. So as a country, we need to change that mindset. For example, there are so many countries of this world that you dare not try that. Even if you under declare by $1 by $2, you can lose the entire cargo. And you know, there's a way to you look at it and you say, oh, that is bad, that is too strict. But if you look at the flip side, it makes everybody's life easier.
This is Soup Business Landscape. Nigerian Customs are targeting 48-hour cargo clearance with one-stop launch. Now, the Nigerian Customs Service has unveiled a one-stop shop initiative aimed at reducing cargo clearance time to 48 hours across the nation's seaports and land borders. Now, the service said the reform will eliminate redundant checks, speed up dispute resolution, and improve trade efficiency. Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeniyi announced this plan in Lagos on Saturday during the official launch of the platform. He was represented at the event by the Deputy Comptroller of Customs in charge of enforcement, Timi Bomadi. Now, Adeniyi stated that the one-stop shop is anchored on Nigeria's broader business environment reforms under Executive Order 001 and the Business Facilitation Act. The framework prioritizes transparency, defined service timelines, digitization, and stronger interagency coordination. Officials say the initiative is expected to lower first, trade costs, second, improve port operation, and also enhance Nigeria's competitiveness in regional and global markets. Okay, let's bring this timeline down. On Thursday, it was customs and the over 1 trillion sector for audience. On Friday, it was custom and a new target they were setting for themselves. And on Monday, it's custom and trying to hit 48 hours most for goods to be cleared. Okay, now, is it an agency that is putting themselves out there to show that, yes, we are going to perform, or they are performing already?
They are performing already, and I can see where they are going. Beyond the 48 hours cargo clearance, they are connecting the Lekki seaports directly to the free zone.
Okay.
And they are having a program that even make onward shipping and clearance even faster for the free zone. So what I see is we are building an ecosystem and we are onto something. So the next thing that I want us to integrate is the coastal road is connected to the sea, is connected to the seaport, is on that axis, and is in progress. I want to see us connect rail.
Okay.
So if we can build an ecosystem and a logistics master plan with our industrialization zone, is going to improve our GDP a lot. And there are countries that have done this same system, build this ecosystem that we can see to mirror. Morocco, for example. Morocco used to depend on agriculture, tourism, and some mineral resources. Today, they have become an industrial powerhouse simply because they fixed their logistics system, just like the way we are doing now. They set up a free zone, they improved their logistics. So, and you know, Morocco is strategically placed close to Europe. It's about 13 kilometers to Europe, divided by sea. So immediately they did this, a lot of companies just came to Morocco to set up shop in their free zone. Do you understand? So you are getting cheaper labor without paying corporate tax. It's close to the seaport, so you just ship back to Europe. And now they depend on that industrialization. Today, a lot of automobile are set up shop producing in Morocco, not because of Morocco or African market, for Europe, because of their improved logistics system and free zone that is connected together. They produce aerospace components now. Different components for airplanes are now produced in Morocco, not for African market, but because they have strategically fix their logistics, and connect it to their free zone. So, and that is what I'm seeing that we are doing. I'm not sure I believe the government is seeing the full ecosystem, but if they are not seeing it, this is what we are saying. If we can connect all of this together, a rail connected to the port, the free trade zone connected to the port, the coastal road connected to the port. We already have an anchor industry in the port, which is the Dangote refinery, which is the largest single trade refinery in the world. And you know that we can have 100 more industries that will be relying on the byproduct from Dangote refinery. So if we do all of this, the port alone is going to be employing directly and indirectly like about 1 million people. And the entire ecosystem, you are looking about 4 million jobs from logistics to the industries in the free zone to the ports. So we are onto something, and custom is strategically placed to properly drive this.
Okay, custom strategically placed to drive this. Your submission gave a whole lot of light bulb effects right now. And I hope, customs will get to see this, and also those in power get to see this. Let's step back. Lagos used to be, and is always a beehive. Once upon a time, you could not move from the island to the mainland, majorly because of congestion from trailer truck drivers that were trying to head to Apapa. At a point in time, from Fashola to the next person before the present one, drastic step needed to take place. At a point in time, Dangote had to come and, okay, good, I will fix this road. The congestion has happened, yes, but we still see a lot of that trailer movement and trailer parking, right from the market here, Balogun, down till you get to Apapa. And now we've had the addition of the Lekki Deep Sea Port, which if we don't look for how to sort these issues out, we're going to see the same issue happening there. Now, Custom is saying we will clear in 48 hours. That's what they are working towards. He's suggesting the rail. Who should take responsibility now? Should it be the state, or should the state wait for the federal?
I remember it was during Fashola's time when there was a law given that no trailer should move during the day. And I think from around 10 p.m. overnight, that was when they could move. And I think that worked to an extent.
To an extent.
Yes.
But it was not very visible.
It was not very visible. So I think we need to go back to the drawing board, look at that method, that policy. What were the bottlenecks? What made it not work 100%? And if it's possible, let's fine tune it and bring out something better. Because at that point, I will not lie, during the day, there were less trailers on the road. The only thing was they were parked on one lane, thereby, of course, hindering traffic. Because if they occupy one lane, or one part of the lane, it becomes a problem. So I think Lagos is booming. Lagos is actually booming. More connecting roads can be, built, bridges and the rest of them. But we just need to look at that particular thing. Then again, looking at this 48-hour, it's a very, very good idea because it's going to take away manual documentation. It's going to take away bureaucracy, bottlenecks, multiple agency checks. But what I'm looking at also, those agencies who have benefited from these bottlenecks, who have benefited from all this, the resistance coming from them. We need to look at that part also. Full digitization is required, which means the people who are going to be handling the computers, whatnot, the technology, also have to be tech savvy. They have to be well trained. It will also improve business, faster business, competitive business, competitive export. Because now I can tell, if for instance, now I'm expecting a shipment, I can tell my client that, okay, in the next 3 days, custom is giving me 48 hours, I can tell you in the next 3 to 4 days, you will get your cow, you get your consignment delivered to you in your house. It's something that would actually ease business. I'm looking at the businessman, I'm looking at the Chinedu in Dumota or this. It would actually improve business. It will actually people can now, and it also boost public confidence. Because if customs is able, just like, what do you call them, the immigrations, how they cleared passport that time. It brought a whole, it opened our eyes to see that. So you can actually get passport in 24 hours. When Tunji Ojo came in and all that. So if custom can live up to this, it's not just about coming out to say 48 hours clearance. There was a time custom said they were also going to digitize everything. They were going to bring CCTV, AI, and all that. How far with that? So it's not just about campaign promises. Get to work.
Campaign promises, you call it. Okay. But the last time we were at the customs office, to be precise, the federal customs, they were able to show us their level of digitization. And they've gone very, very far. With officers that were
I also
working.
forgot to mention interconnectivity in services, in internet services has to be upgraded if this is going to actually work.
Okay.
The same connectivity we'll be talking about during the election, it has to work.
Oh, it will work because okay, now I need you to tackle something that he brought up, and those are agencies, government and non-government agencies that have benefited from a lot of these bureaucratic bottlenecks. This slowdown that is, in some cases, is intentional, just to make benefits of it. If you were to be the controller of customs right now, will you even think about them, or you look for how to phase them out of the place?
As human beings, we don't like change, and change is inevitable. But people will always be resistant to change. The ports that we run today, there are so many faceless people that serves as agency between the regular people and the custom. They hang around the ports. Those are the people that knows custom officers that make things faster. And the reason why there is a job for those people, quote unquote, is because of the inefficiency of the system. That is why somebody needs somebody that does not work directly with no custom, with no nobody. But simply because they hang around the ports, they know one custom officer or the other. And when you pay that person, the person know the right person to grease their palm to make this thing faster. Now, if you are improving this, if I can get my car or my container out in 48 hours, I don't need to pay extra money to anybody, because this money that you are paying, you don't get receipt for it. It's like bribe. It's like whatever you call it. So now, if that efficiency, and like I said, is an ecosystem, if that efficiency is there, there will be jobs. There are other jobs that will be provided directly or indirectly within that ecosystem. There are so many jobs. Like I said, the port alone, directly or indirectly, we employ 1 million people if we can connect all of these dots together, which is efficient custom clearing, full digitalization of the process, connecting it to rail, connecting it to coastal super highways, connecting it to the free zone, which they're already doing. So if we can connect all of these dots, there will be plenty more jobs. But I agree that at the beginning, there are so many people that are benefiting from this bad system and inefficiency. They are going to be resistant. But, you know, as leaders, as the people that are driving economy, as controller general, their job is to get the job done the best possible way that is best for the system and for the country. And then sell the bigger picture of other things that these people can do within the ecosystem that will be adding value, not adding extra logistic costs for people that are trying to get their containers or clear their goods.
Okay. A lot of times in this side of the divide, a lot of policies and actions are made for everybody based on the negative part of what is supposed to be.
Right.
Typical example. Custom wants you to declare your goods. You come there, you clear your goods, and your goods are out. But because people either don't declare or they under-declare and they hide, a lot of the custom policy is now made from that particular point of view for everybody.
Right.
But outside this country, if you try to get something that is of big size, it doesn't matter. Sometimes even of things of small size, you pay your custom duty right from the port of delivery, not even at the port of entry. Do you see us following that particular pattern, whereby any other thing that is not well declared on this particular side, then you face the law directly, and not a policy that affects all of us because a set of people don't declare, under-declare, or hide?
That's the way to go. The major problem that we have as a country is because in the name of quote-unquote human face, we relax a lot of our laws and people just dance on our laws. And Nigeria is a place where even when you know that you are doing something that is not right, you just believe it's Nigeria. When I go there, I will find somebody that speaks my language or that goes to the same church with me or that would have interest in the money that I can use to buy my way. So as a country, we need to change that mindset. For example, there are so many countries of this world that you dare not try that. Even if you under declare by $1 by $2, you can lose the entire cargo. And there's a way you look at it and you say, oh, that is bad, that is too strict. But if you look at the flip side, it makes everybody's life easier. You have faster clearance because nobody is trying to. So if they clear 1,000 cargo, they probably have problem with just one. But in Nigeria, you find out that if you are clearing 1,000 cargo, 950 or 990, everybody under declared. And it makes everything slow because you now have to start checking one after the other just because your laws are not properly executed, quote and unquote human face. So if we want to get things done in this country, we need to follow our laws to the letter. And whoever is going against the law should face the full wrath of the law.
Whoever is going against the law should face the full wrath of the law. The Nigerian Customs have come out to show us that their digitalization is up and is working. They even did some kind of exhibition some time ago. Now, if this is put out there, because you can at least do a lot of your clearance without any human interface. That is possible. 24 hours. Port decongestion is one major thing we'll get to see when this happens. But now let's look at our major ports aside Tinkan, Lekki, and Tinkan's brother on that same side.
Snake Island.
The major one we have is Port Harcourt, but it's not as functional as it can. The Warri port is not as functional as it can.
There was a particular port that
Sapele is not as functional as it can.
Commissioned and we never for about 2 years.
Don't forget
What
about
happened to that?
Forget
At that port.
That's Barrow in Niger State.
Thank you very much.
Oh well, let's talk about let's talk about port of entry
A
into
whole
Nigeria.
lot of money budget has gone into that particular place. Why is it not functioning?
EFCC, listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying. I'll follow up. So let's look at this particular port of entry. Is it possible for subnationals and leaders in subnationals to at least push and emulate what is happening in Lagos for ports within their own territory? If the federal government is not doing it, can't the subnationals take up that task?
They are the closest one to this port. They should see it as, I won't call it corporate social rep. So they should just see it as a mandate. That is why you are elected. You are elected to make life easier. You're elected to govern over a whole state. So it doesn't exclude any other thing. But it's elections, yes, but let's put that one aside. Maybe after elections, some of them would wake up. But I like the fact that Lagos, Ogun, is leading the trail right now. So it means that if Ogun can have its own, I mean, what's stopping every other state or states with port from having that? It just shows where the chief security officer's head is, where he is focused. It's where your focus. It's in a good book. Say where your mind is, there your heart will be. So it's something that is not far-fetched. It's just responsibility. It takes guts. That okay. Then again, if you look at it, it's another way of ensuring that business thrive. Because if you take care of that, it will also trickle down to revenue generation. Because your state will be able to collect more tax from businesses.
Can I come in, Mr.
It doesn't
Chukwuemeka?
trickle, it pause.
Can I come somewhere? This is a very important national discourse. And every time everybody thinks about, every port should be working. But for every port to be effectively working, they need an anchor customer. What do I mean? Somebody that guarantees traffic. Because if you are looking at any port to work, you are looking at least 4,000 people, direct job. So where is their salary coming from if you are getting maybe one container in 2 months, one container in 3 weeks. Even in Lagos, the busiest spot, there is complaint about containers going back empty a lot of the time.
Yes.
So we cannot be talking about Ogun State, for example, now. They are building the seaport.
Yes.
But they are doing something strategic. They are trying to start exploring oil.
Brilliant,
That
yes.
means they will be exporting crude oil.
Yes.
And they are building
Strategic.
a refinery. So those will be their anchor industry for that seaport.
Okay.
So you cannot be talking about seaport if there's no industry to drive it, because you need to pay people salary
There's a
and
port in
run
Port Harcourt.
overhead.
There's a port in Port Harcourt. Don't they have oil? If oil is the issue, is the governor that those that are there, are they sleeping? They have oil. There's a port in Sapele. Don't they have oil? If oil is the thing that they must export,
No.
there's rubber, there's oil, there's
It's
a lot of
not-
agricultural products.
Hold on.
So can't they emulate other states?
However they are exporting their oil. Now I don't have that information, but what I know for global standard is that for any port to be functional, you need an anchor industry. The reason why Lekki Deep Sea Port has potential and is viable is because of Dangote refinery, and that is what is running it. The Lekki Seaport is an idea that has been conceived for 20 years. It didn't run until when Dangote refinery is ready.
Okay.
So all these places, they have potential, but
Can we
potential.
start turning those potentials to action points and something that we can implement?
Okay, I'm saying this again. Please listen to me
Are you
carefully.
going
Hold
to
on.
excuse them there?
No, I'm not trying to excuse them.
where the
Listen to me.
national
It's a
should come in.
national discourse. I'm saying today,
Okay.
Lekki's deep sea port, even though it's a 20-year idea, it has come to fruition
Okay.
because of Dangote refinery. Dangote refinery is not a coincidence.
Okay.
Lagos state government deliberately cut Dangote and make sure he invested there to be able to give life to the Lekki Deep Sea Port idea.
Okay.
Today, I'm going somewhere.
Okay.
Today, the seaport in Ogun State is being conceived, and oil exploration is going on.
Okay.
Refinery is going on.
Okay.
Everything will come together, will become an ecosystem. Is
Okay.
going to work. So I don't want us to treat all this national discourse on the surface and say, oh, they are favoring one section of the country. So you cannot just pick port is working without looking at the underneath, what is making the port work.
Okay.
So you cannot be fighting for port when you are not dragging industries to your zone to start working, because those are the people that will power your
What about
ports.
exporting?
Hold on. The people.
That's what the industries are doing now.
the
They bring
people-
raw materials, they export
The
finished goods.
people in Lagos, the people conceiving that of Ogo, do they have two heads?
They don't have to.
hold on.
Mr. Chooks, please get my
The
argument.
people in Rivers, the people in Delta, don't they have heads that are working?
They do have head. That
So
is
they should
what
also use their own head.
my point.
in
The point of
pulling,
my
in pulling in productivity, just that the way these people are also doing the same thing.
exactly.
Now they have industries that can work. Why have they let it not work?
Okay, so now Boa refinery is going on in Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
So this is what they can do in that axis. Akwa Ibom and Rivers State can come together, build a rail, build a super highway, find a seamless connectivity between the refinery through the coastline to Port Harcourt deep sea port. And the refinery can be an anchor industry for that port.
Akwa Ibom has coastlines too.
But I'm saying, I'm speaking,
Akwa Ibom has coastlines too.
So they can decide to start building the deep sea port too. But or in that region, 3 states can come together and say, let's build our infrastructure to connect Port Harcourt deep sea port, and so that it can become viable and break from depending on Lagos. So, but because if everybody wants to have deep sea port, where is the traffic?
We are looking for seaports because we need to get productive. If we don't get productive, the $1 trillion economy is not going to happen. We can't get productive if we don't export.
Mr. Chooks, if everybody has a seaport, you come back to where we are. Where there are so many seaports, there is not enough industrial activity to drive them.
That's what she's saying. Why can't
we get those industries working?
Okay, well, the free trade zone, it took them.
Let's ask ourselves
free
this
trade
question.
zone started in 2006. It took them about 20 years for it to work up to this level to power a seaport. So while you are developing
that's one.
That is one.
The prototype is always the most difficult. Someone has laid a prototype down. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You copy. There are industries at the free trade zone. What should other states do? What happened to Adapam? What happened to the shoemaking in Aba? What happened to the coal in Enugu? There's enough space for them to
So that is what I'm saying. You see, all these places, they can work on their logistics to connect Port Harcourt seaport. So if each state now see, I have enough industrial activity and traffic that can anchor my port, you can now decide to build your port. But I feel like the first priority now is for everybody to come together to direct traffic to Port Harcourt so that for that region, Port Harcourt can start working. If ships are anchoring directly in Port Harcourt, goods will be a lot cheaper. At least the logistics from Lagos to that region is going to be removed if the ship is anchoring directly in Port Harcourt to distribute to most of these eastern states and south states. Is about 1 hour, 2 hour journey from Port Harcourt, as compared to about 7-8 hours from Lagos to Port Harcourt or that region. You are looking at higher insurance premium, higher money for logistics. So those are the money that you are going to.
You've not added non-state actors.